Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Brahma Mirastiparan Takare Banushashi Bhumisuto Buddhasha Gurusha Shukra Shani Rahu Keteva Sarve Graha Shantikara Bhavantu. Om Hrim Buddhaya Namaha. Om Hrim Gurave Namaha. Om Hrim Shukraya Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat. Well, greetings and welcome to another episode of KozmicKev100. This is your weekly video astrozine where we take the planets, the 9 to 12 grahas, depending on what system we're looking at, the 12 houses of the zodiac and the 12 signs of the zodiac, and try to make sense. And I also do a little bit of embellishment of the 27 nakshatras, which are lunar mansions in Vedic astrology that circle even further out in a lot of ways than the 12 signs of the zodiac, and give us a little more insight as to meaning. So this is for June 30th, Friday, June 30th, 2023. I encourage you to please subscribe. We've got up to about 815 subscribers. I'm really wanting to hit the 1,000 mark, and you're sharing these videos and telling your friends about it. Oh yeah, this guy does horoscopes for the week, and they're based on mostly your rising sign. So if you don't know that, you can use your sun sign. That's pretty good. If you know your moon sign, that's probably the second best after rising sign. So I say rising sign, moon sign, then the basic sun sign that most everybody seems to know. And that's how we do this here. So here for Friday, we've got this lunar mansion known as Anuradha. So that's in the constellation of Scorpio. Now in tropical astrology we say it's Sagittarius, so I have Sagittarius moon right there for that. But if you're looking through a telescope in the constellation of Scorpio, there you're going to find Anuradha. So Anuradha is ruled by Saturn, the nakshatra, the lunar mansion, and this is in the Vedic Jyotishi form of astrology. And its ruling deity is Mitra, who is the god of light. He's also about friendship, friend to all people. So this particular moon today, on this beautiful Venus day, has a lot to do with friendship. I just like to, it's always notable to me that a poet from the beatnik era and the hippie era named Richard Brautigan, author, wrote a book called June 30th. And my friend Jewel Trotman's turning 60 today, so Jewel, happy birthday, welcome to Club 60-something, and hey, we're all moving on. And so, but back to the Anuradha nakshatra, it's about sometimes living in two different cities simultaneously. A lot of people here in Chico have a relationship with Redding, which is the next larger city in the North State. Some people have a relationship with Sacramento and the Bay Area, even more so, and some people actually commute or telecommute to those cities, and so there's a two-city relationship. A lot of times having a two-community relationship is very common with Anuradha. Now, as far as like sun sign astrology goes, if you were born between, say, the 19th of November to about the 2nd of December, that's around where the Anuradha nakshatra hangs out and sun sign thing, and that would be, of course, sidereal Scorpio, but Western Sagittarius in that particular portion, because there's 27 of them. So 27 divided by 12, it gets a little weird. It's like 13 degrees 20 minutes. And I also want to, welcome some of the new subscribers I saw that kind of greeted me with their comments, and I want you to just, like, hey, welcome to the KozmicKev100 family. I appreciate you so much, and what you have to say counts. You count, and I want that to be I want that to be a regular thing. I want to keep on hearing from you. So that's basically it. So, with that said, and about Anuradha and its ruling deity Mitra, about friendships, living in different cities. Also, Radha. Radha was a woman that loved Krishna in the Vedas, and she would hear Krishna playing his flute at night, and she would go out to hang out with him and have his wisdom. I believe she was a married woman, and so there's, but Krishna, if you look at his teachings, very similar to the Jesus teachings. It's about having faith and not giving in to the flesh and not giving in to laziness, but just confronting evil head on and having grace and love. He was said to be the winner of all hearts. So there's a beautiful association with Anuradha and all the Saturn-ruled nakshatras, Anuradha, Pushama, and Uttara Bhadra have positive connotations to them, because Saturn deals with our Vata, and the nakshatras supposedly deal with our Vata, our more mental, etherical, spiritual sides to ourselves. Okay, so with that said, let's get back into Western astrology here, as we're going to go through this really quick. Today, well, I want to say one more thing in Vedic. Today, Mars moves into the constellation of Leo. So Mars in Vedic astrology or in sidereal astrology, even though we say in tropical astrology it's in Leo, it's been in Cancer, which is a debilitated Mars, especially in the Alesha Nakshatra, this last part where it's in the Gandanta today. It's in this knot. So this is kind of a weird place for Mars to be. So I just say, please keep all aggressive and angry energy in check, because we can end up, really hurting a lot of people, including ourselves in that. However, by the time you get up tomorrow, or at least by tonight, Mars is going to actually be in sidereal Leo, and it's going to be so much better, folks. Oh my God, you're going to feel like, oh shoot, man, I'm not scared anymore. I can move forward. This is great, So that's a positive thing about that. Venus is going to move retrograde in a couple of weeks, in a few weeks, and so Venus is really slowing down, and Venus and Mars are sort of like in celestial war up till today, but by tomorrow, things should start getting better, and especially with Mars moving into a more masculine sign in the sidereal, even though they're both in Western and Leo, we're going to see things start to get better. All right. Greetings, Aries. Welcome to your horoscope. Hey. So Mars in the 5th house, all about the kids, all about your creative expression, all about where you can bring light and love in the world, where you can bring generosity in the world, where you become your own teacher, your own entertainer, your own person moving forward. And it's a good time for getting new ideas about how to make money. And yeah, as the economy changes, and there is a lot of lack from what we may have used to do and how we do things, but wherever there's a space, that's where the spirit can fill in, and so if we go before the divine, ask for help, ask God for help. It sounds ridiculous to a lot of people, but it's help. And then there's people that, fanatically believe in it, whether they believe in Allah, Krishna, Jesus, but they get answers to their prayer, right? I know that we're in a real Jesus culture here. It'd be nice if more people acted like the Blessed Master. I encourage that, and my experience is that Yeshua will come to you if you're sincere. If you're a sincere seeker, you'd be surprised. Help is on the way, like the Grateful Dead song. You got some karma to deal with. It might not be easy. I know Neptune just went retrograde too, and so Saturn's retrograde, Neptune's retrograde, they're both in the 12th house, and so this is like a saying, look at your spiritual life. We've all done things to mess things up, but you know what, today's the first day of the rest of your life, and I want you to move forward positively. Pluto's retrograde over there in the midheaven, I mean, it's, but the moon is a happy moon this weekend for Aries. You know, it sounds like a great adventure if you're going out on a 4-day weekend. I think you're going to enjoy it. Well, Taurus, welcome to your horoscope. So here we've got the North Node and Uranus and Jupiter. You know, and Jupiter just has this way of expanding things, making things bigger. There's a point where Rahu, the North Node, there's sort of ungrounded desires and there's unconventional ways of doing things. Now, I would imagine if you were in a country like Afghanistan or in the Ukraine or in Palestine, you might be part of like a revolutionary team because you're like kind of wondering, everything seems sort of uncertain here in the circumstances, and I'm sure there's way more countries than that are going through certain amounts of uncertainty. You know, I go through my own uncertainty, and that's okay. You know, so we just have to kind of grin and bear it, and we also have to be honest with ourselves. Like this weekend, a lot of other people seem to be more like empowered than you are. You know, I'm sure that by Sunday that's going to feel better. Like by Sunday you'll be ready to go on an adventure. Ooh, an adventure. You know, and there's going to be this healing over Sunday, Monday, Tuesday that's going to feel better for you. Pay attention to siblings, your communication with siblings, people at home in general, the parents, all of that. Now that Mars is kind of pushing forward towards your 5th house, you're going to there's going to be this upliftment, and some of this inability to do things or laziness is going to it's going to break free for you. So that's good. That's some good news. Greetings, Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope. Well, I mean, Moon in the 7th house. You know, it's kind of romantic for Gemini. And Mercury is, you know, it's doing its thing now in Cancer. Communicating your feelings in a very praising, left brain, kind of intellectual knowledge. We're not accustomed to talking about feelings much. I think women do better at this, but they do it with each other. And they're okay and they're accepting about it. And I think those of us who are men or kind of male type identifiers, we need to allow ourselves to get in touch with our feelings and create safer places for us to express ourselves. Because when we're okay and we validate each other's feelings, we function so much better. We feel like we've built these bonds of trust that make things work so much better. And you can't just like delegate your bad feelings to distraction. You know, distraction can be just looking at your phone and an internet post, you know, people liking your pictures, so you get a little dopamine hit. And guilty as charged. This is a weird world to negotiate, people. And even now I've been on almost a year of sobriety, it's just been like, wow. There's so many ways I'm addicted besides, you know, drinking or wanting to smoke herb. You know, there's so many things that can distract me, and so going into presence, you know, saying prayers, doing the mantras, reading uplifting stories, and filling my mind with good thoughts. This is the work, and that's the real value. That's where the real gold is. That's where the real money is. Hello, Cancer, and welcome to your horoscope. Well, happy birthday if you're a Cancer having a birthday today, like Jewel is. And other people are having birthdays this week too. My friend Jen Clicius is having a happy 48th birthday, turning 48, I think, on the 5th, and maybe it's the 6th, maybe it's, you know, that's almost next week. Got to be careful about this. Don't want to get people ahead of time on their birthday. Charlotte's July 4th. Happy birthday to you. Lady Di would have been the 2nd. My beautiful friend Diane's turning 65, I believe, on the 1st of July. So maybe Lady Di was 1st of July. She would have been 62, I believe, if she was still with us. So yeah, birthdays, folks. I love hearing from you, and I love to celebrate you. Things have been very Cancer-like. We're feeling our emotions. We're wanting to strengthen our connections with our families. We are the flavor of the month, by the way. And so it's been a pretty good week, really. And, a lot of, taking care of details, helping other people. One of the best things we can do when we're depressed or we're feeling somewhat useless is we volunteer work and help others. Give some money to help someone else. Do something, even if you don't have money. Find some flowers, collect something. Find something of value, a kindness, writing a kind note to somebody. All of this is the law of giving, which is going to help you economically in the law of attraction. There's been a lot of activity about money, and money is currency, and currency implies a flow. So in order to receive, you have to give. And when you have a space for it, more can come in. But it's on a principle of giving. The principle of the law of giving is the law of attraction when it comes to receiving wealth. And with that said, if anyone wants to underwrite this show, you've got a business or something, I've got a great deal for you where I'll mention the name of your business. I mean, this probably applies mostly to local people, but if you've got something that's online, a service, I'd love to work with you. So contact me. Okay, greetings, Leo. Welcome to your horoscope. First of all, Cancer time for Leo is 12th house stuff. And 12th house is a house of loss. It's a house of harvest. It's a house of finishing things up. This is a time to go to the wilderness. The negative part of the 12th house are like big institutes like jails and hospitals. That's, unfortunately, most of us don't go to those places when we have 12th house transits. Yeah. And if so, hopefully those visits are brief. Your career life, it's where you're getting inspiration, and there's a lot of healing going on, but there's also some kind of depression. There's a little bit of what I call a spiritual crisis in your life. Believe me, I can relate to this. It's not fun, and you might be doing all the right things. And I have a friend who's an astrologer. I won't call her name out, but she lives in Nevada County, and she's in Jupiter Dasha going through a spiritual crisis. I thought to myself, oh man, Jupiter Dasha, everything should be up, 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 and they don't talk about Dashas in Western astrology. That's why you come see me for a reading, and I can tell you a little bit about this stuff. Yeah, and I've been in Jupiter Dasha a little over a year, and I could say, my goodness, boy, it really brings you in touch to what spiritual crisis is and how much we need the Creator's grace on our life to move forward. Yeah, and so I can say that, and I hear it. And you've got this beauty. You're emanating more physical beauty and attraction. And Venus is going to be in your first house forever, Leos, because it's going to go retrograde. So, I mean, your attractiveness is a superpower. But it's also you got to get things done. And now that Mars is at the end of Leo and getting close and going into sidereal Leo where it's more exalted, you're going to be able, economically, things are going to pick up for you. You're going to make some good moves, and this should be a fun weekend for you too. Well, hello Virgo, welcome to your horoscope. Now for Virgo, I say Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, those are going to be the better days, and there's going to be some upliftment, and we just have to be real about that, and this is your social time. Actually, I'm a Virgo rising in tropical astrology, and I find that Cancer time, Cancer season is my best season to throw a party. I'm not planning on doing it yet. How many of us have thrown parties since the damn panic? I know somebody says, you mean the pandemic, the lockdown, the pandemic, whatever you want to call it. I just call it the damn panic because it seems like people were just in a panic, and some people made a lot of money off of it. That's usually what happens, I guess, in crises. Our overlords get a little head start. Oh yeah, invest in this. Oh yeah, well yeah. Oh yeah, well hey. We'll take care of our friends, right? Yeah. Phone's off. Oh, so sorry. We got to. Virgo, you're a critical thinker, and you kind of know you tune into these things. But your social life is good right now. I mean, there's a little bit of karma to pay in your love life, and you're just feeling that deeply. I could see that with Venus and Mars in the 12th house. You just feel a little bit at loss. But, Mars is about to it's moving closer. By the end of the month, by the middle of the month, Mars is going to be in your first house, and you're going to be rocking it. You're going to, that inner sidereal lion is going to come out, and Virgo is going to rock the Casbah, folks. Like, we haven't seen Virgo rocking the Casbah, and it's going to go on, it's going to go on for a few months is what I'm thinking. And and Venus too is going to get in there, and so you're going to be looking good, and it's all gonna happen. Relationship wise, you just have to be intentional and just bring out the best. Why you're so glad to be in that relationship with this person. Bring out what's forward, and it's always good to get out your concerns, but it's always important when we're dealing with criticism and concerns to focus on remedies, how to make things better. I was reading Pema Chandra, and she says, we don't deserve resolution. We need to learn how to be uncomfortable, be okay with our uncomfortableness. I'm like, okay. Okay, Pema, you got it. Anyhow, greetings, Libra. Welcome to your horoscope. It's an interesting time. What I find about Cancer time for Libras is that this is when other people go on vacation and they get promoted. They end up being the boss. They end up taking over responsibilities that their supervisors or overlords are doing while they're gone. I mean, it doesn't always work out that way because there's a lot of nepotism in the way things are run in businesses. You can't always expect everything, but it's like I see your intelligence shining, especially since most of you are sidereal Geminis anyhow, Virgos, so your intelligence is going to be seen and recognized with Mercury here. Yay! And your social life is rocking with Venus and Mars. Another, yay! Mars is going to be moving over in here in a couple of weeks, so you kind of have to watch your back about certain people, certain things. This weekend, good for like a little neighborhood party, connecting with neighbors, siblings, cousins, friends, gleaning information. Be disciplined in exercise. Swimming, excellent this time of year. And there might be some health issues and other people's money, things that are kind of held up, issues with your partner, and just, the more love and the more compassion you bring into that, the more love and compassion you actually bring into yourself. Greetings, Scorpio. Welcome to your horoscope. Cancer time is a good time for Scorpio. There's no question about it because it rules the 9th house. 9th house is fun. 9th house, though, is also higher teaching. It's Jupiter. 9th house can be the father. Not everyone has a good 9th house relationship. But it's out of the 8th house, where we kind of die a little bit in the 8th house, we have to, we are in a really vulnerable place. And it's like suddenly you've been accepted at the university. And it's like, hey, we want you. We want you to learn what we have to teach you. That's the 9th house. We want you to have some good experiences. That's the 9th house. God, I want you to share your knowledge and wisdom and help other people. That too is the 9th house. I want you to be able to feel comfortable with cultures and people you're not normally acquainted with. That also is the 9th house. I'll be really honest, I hate identity politics because it's just another way to say, oh, them, they've been whoever's the most oppressed. And there's some reality to this. I'm not going to diss people's suffering in any means, but everyone's family, man. We're all cousins. We're all related to each other. whether you're trans, Jehovah's Witness, Muslim extremist or whatever, I don't care. You're all deserving of love. You know, not that they all come together, oh my God, they associated me with that. You know, I mean, we just cool your jets for a little bit. We're all human, you know? And being human puts us all in vulnerability where we don't understand. And we can assume people are privileged, but it doesn't always match up to what they have. There's a lot of, you know, white males that grew up in trailers and didn't have a good education and, you know, might have been beaten up by minorities or other people. And so there's reasons why people come to these unfortunate conclusions. And so the best way we can do is be the best people we can be and be loving. You know, Scorpio? So loving, Cancer's theme is everybody is family. Boom. That's the higher wisdom for Scorpio to share. Every one of us is family with each other. And any part of ourselves that we don't forgive will be shown in the people we don't want to forgive. Because we are part of the whole. We're in this big gyrosphere, man. Our roots are all connected. And we can't just allopathically separate ourselves from the whole. That's why I like to say, Scorpio, I love you, and you're going to act in love, and boom, that's your karma in the workplace, is give more love, give more passion, and the moon, there might be some money for you this weekend, I hope so. And with Neptune and Saturn in the retro in Pisces, it's like all about, hey, let's be good with our children in their weaknesses. Let's be good with our creative source and its weaknesses. And I have a feeling Neptune and Saturn are going to help us a lot. Hello, Sagittarius. Well, I mean, you are the star this weekend, at least Friday and Saturday, while Moon's in Sagittarius. And so, you know, there's a lot of power in these 2 days for you. And, you know, the Anurata Moon should function well. The Jyeshta Moon, Saturday, you'll be moving up the ranks. What else do we got here? Well, you know, I think that you'll be making money and resources as we go through the week. And later on, you know, by Wednesday, a good time to contact siblings and loved ones. You know, the Cancer theme is about family. It's not something you're particularly comfortable with, you know. Sometimes your family's pets and animals, and you don't always want to deal with unfortunate wounds that have come from generational abuse, trauma, and suffering. But if we can have compassion for those wounds and say, wow, they must be really uncomfortable living in that body, feeling that way, and doing this, and say, God, I wonder if there's anything I could do to make their day. And even, it's not so much that they're going to change forever, but it's like, you're not participating in perpetuating hurt. You're not participating in perpetuating one way of seeing things. Everything's in a dead end. They're doomed. You know, don't just... Some things, you know, it's like, have you ever worked on a nut that was so tight and that you couldn't get it out of something, but you just patiently worked with WD-40 or some other thing and just kept working at it, and eventually it loosened, or a tight knot that you just weren't able to get out, but you just patiently kept tugging and working on it, and the knot released. That's kind of what this period is like for you, and that's okay. Keep working on it. You're going to have a victory. Well, greetings, Capricorn, and welcome to your horoscope. You know, it's like Pluto in the first house gives you insight. So if you're a Capricorn born on like the 19th, 18th of January, even 16th, 17th, you're getting a hit, man. And it's like, or even Aquarius born on the 20th, 21st, you're just like, yeah, things have been really, you know, out of my power league. So you have this space for God. You have this space for the divine. You know, I mean, it's interesting, you know, some people, what they act. I mean, I've seen a lot of people's lives changed by Yeshua, calling on Jesus. They have had their life change absolutely. That the Blessed Master, Son of God, I mean, we're all sons and daughters of God, but, you know, Ultimate Guru came to bear all our misdeeds on the cross and is offering us the gift of freedom, eternal life more abundantly. It's a pretty cool offer. And it largely runs on devotion, you know, and so what are you devoting yourself to? What are you feeding your head with? You know, that's what's really going to change everything. And if you're really practical and pragmatic, this is a relationship season for Capricorn. So your relationship, it is hardest to be nice and godly with the people we love. This is a divine truth, you know. That you want to have love magic. You want to be like Adonai and Asherah, the Heavenly Father and his wife. I mean, that is, boom, the divine. You want to be like the Divine Mother and the Heavenly Father? Well, it's going to take some devotion, my friend. And I think what a perfect time, though, with Venus and Mars in the 8th house. So I want to be devoted to love. And it's not love like what I can get in the best orgasm. I know there's orgasm gurus, and yeah, I know that stuff's good for you. But it only goes so far. If you're just taking care of the first 3 chakras and not the last 3, boom, you know, boom, 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 and ultimately what ties them all together? It's the heart. It's like being in your heart. You know, what are the heart planets? You know, they're Venus, they're the moon, they're the sun, you know, and in a sense even Jupiter too, because it's like, it's being part of sattva, it's doing things that help satisfy others and not being engaged in our own selfish ways. It's hard because we're scared that we won't survive, you know. And giving is living, you know. That is another form of currency, letting the current flow. And you're really creative right now. You got good stuff to offer, Capricorn. Do not worry. Do not worry. Om Namah Shivaya. Greetings, Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope. Yeah, I mean, you know, Pluto entering into your sign, it, you know, especially for those of you born, you know, between the 20th and 25th, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, something's up here. What, you know, and I'm not always easy with it. But, you know, the outer planets like Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, they really deal with this on more of a bigger social scene. So, you know, key things I think of with Aquarius is reservoirs holding water, and electricity, how we deal with energy use. And so that's, you know, a lot of what's being lost and changed. You know, places that used to get no water are having tons of water. Places that have mostly a lot of water are on fire. You know, it's like, yikes. You know, this is a big adjustment. And this is a really good time to get together with forward-minded thinking people, you know, this weekend. I mean, Cancer is work for Aquarius, because Cancer is like, okay, I'm getting exhausted, I'm working hard, I'm trying to cooperate with my coworkers are just too emotional, I wish they would just get out of it. You know, if people are emotional around you, do things to lift up their emotions. Write them sweet notes. Leave them a little gift, you know. Give them something healthy to eat that they know they like, you know. Don't try and make them unhealthy with something, you know. Well, I know they like, you know, I mean, there's a little bit of that, you know, giving somebody a little bit of herb or wine or something because that's their thing. A little bit of that's okay, but you don't want to lead people down to where they're having deeper problems, you know. But just anything loving, you know, that's gonna help them. Even a chapstick when their lips are chapped. It's like anything like that can help. Some, you know, lip balm. Sorry, I'm mentioning some kind of corporate logo thing, you know, but anyhow, yeah, so be of service. Also, your love life should be getting better with Venus and Mars, especially moving forward, and just patience, my friend Aquarius, because I know as Aquarius, and it's hard to be the smartest kid on the block when everyone else seems like an idiot. I get it, but it's okay. Relax. Get in your heart space. That's the thing I'm saying right now. That's the way we can get other people in the heart space. Easier to get. We do better in the heart space than we do up here in the monkey mind. That's all. That's my judgment. I'm sticking to it. Greetings, Pisces, and welcome to your horoscope as we're wrapping things up here today. Cancer time is a lovely time for Pisces. Another water sign, so, you know, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces enjoys Cancer, and no, not the disease, you know, nobody enjoys that, and so there's this kind of, you know, it's a Jupiter ruled moon this weekend, But it goes in your 11th house, so like a good get-together on Sunday or Monday, that'd be kind of refreshing to your soul right now, and reconnecting with siblings and old friends. That's going to be really good for you right now. And you've got all this creative juice because the Sun and Mercury are moving through your 5th house. So you've got some really good ideas right now. I would journal them. I would write them down because this is going to help you move forward. And one thing I didn't mention this week is that we do have a full moon. Oh my goodness, yes, we have a full moon in Cancer early Monday morning at 4:39 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And this full moon, and this goes for all signs, you know, is in the lunar mansion or nakshatra known as Purvashada, which is associated with water. Apis, the water god, rules it, so getting out in the water is super good, especially on Sunday night, Monday, all day Monday. You know, enjoy that water vibe, and it's Venus ruled. So we're going to go through the work week with a lot of love. And I just want you to like, subscribe this video. Please bring me your comments. You are important to me, and I look so forward to being with you next week when we do this again. KozmicKev100, your weekly astro video zine. Om Shanti 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 Om Tat Sat. Namaste.